Hey guys, this is Caleb Simpson here from ZeldaDungeon.net. You're watching the video walkthrough for The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. This is the third chapter in the walkthrough, the Mighty Collection, which covers all the way from Zelda's Lullaby up until we head up Death Mountain. So it runs roughly 38 minutes. It's broken up into 5 sections, which are each ranging from 4 to 10 minutes. So this is the first section, which covers the graveyard. So there's a bunch of goodies we can get there. So as soon as you start out, you will appear right outside Hyrule Castle, and Impa will be telling you you need to head to Kakariko to head up Death Mountain. So while we are going to do that, we're going to start that out in the next chapter. So because this whole chapter just does a bunch of collection for the most part, there's only 2 things we really need. There's Saria's Song and getting the Hylian Shield. The Hylian Shield we do in this section. So you could do that real quick, and then you could just skip this whole chapter entirely if you don't want to collect everything. This is just a convenient time to get a bunch of stuff, so that's why I'm doing this. So anyways, we're going to continue and head towards Kakariko. Just follow and go across this bridge, and then head up these steps over here. If you were going to try to go over here earlier, then the owl would have gotten in the way and said, "No, you do need to go see the princess." So anyways, head up these steps and you'll automatically appear in Kakariko. And this is the primary town of the game, pretty much. It's just this lazy windmill town with a bunch of people running around all the time. And so we'll be coming here repeatedly for various reasons. But this is also where the Scatula house is, and we will deal with this later. And note that guard right here on the left at the entrance of Kakariko. He tells you what time of day it is, and all the gossip stones do that too, and I'll talk more about that later. But in any case, that guard is useful because if you ever do need to go to the graveyard to talk with Dampy, which is basically only for a side quest to get a heart piece, he's only there at specific times of night, and so we're gonna need to exit Kakariko, hang around in Hyrule Field, and come back in again and see what time it is by talking to that guard. And once it gets to the right time of day, you can head back to the graveyard and go talk to Dampy. In any case, just head through the village and go to the graveyard right now, and as soon as you enter, there'll be another scene where it shows you an overview of the area. During the day, there's this little kid in there who is pretending to be Dampy. During the night, Dampy is there himself, only on certain times. Now, one other thing I want to point out is that at night there are Poes here, which are ghosts, and you can get close to them. You can defeat them with your sword. If you Z-target them, they will go invisible for a bit. And then you can just wait around, hold up your shield, and wait for their lantern to hit you, and then they'll turn back visible again, smack them, and then you repeat the whole process. It's a little bit easier to defeat them if you just don't Z-target them and just run up and slash them instead. And so that's the best way to defeat those guys. Now run forward to the back of the area, and then you'll see there's a Triforce symbol in front of the big grave. So what you want to do is you want to stand on top of it, and then you want to whip out your Ocarina and then play Zelda's Lullaby, which is, if you notice, on your N64 controller is in the shape of a Triforce. So, what a quinkity. So this will cause lightning and a thunderstorm, and lightning will hit the big grave and cause a hole to open. So just jump down inside, and it's kind of tricky to do. You might find it easier to just kind of flop over the side and then press A to drop down. This is what I do here. It took me a couple tries. So anyways, now we're inside the royal family's tomb, and there's a new enemy here called Peace, and what you do is, if they get you too close, they'll start coming towards you and start trying to ram into you. So if you just get them from far off, you can shoot them with your slingshot. So kill all 4 of them to open the door. And, what's the deal with this room anyways? There's all these bones everywhere. You'd think that the royal family would have, like a fancy tomb or something. Anyways, so this will open the door, climb up there, and go through it. And this will take you to another room. You want to avoid the pools of poison or whatever they are, and then run past all the enemies in here. There's a new enemy in here called a Redead, and these undead enemies, if you get too close to them, they'll jump on top of you and try and suck the life out of you. So you want to stay behind them if you can. The other thing about them is that if they do see you, they will scream at you, and you'll be stunned momentarily. So you want to try and avoid that. So run to the back of this room, and then in this new little area, you want to go talk to the tombstone thing back here, and it will tell you a poem that was written by the Composer brothers, who are actually up top in either one of the graves. You can talk to the grave, and they'll pop up, the Composer brothers themselves, and they'll be ghosts. And so you can defeat them, and then they'll tell you interesting stuff. In any case, Navi will read you the poem, and then she'll tell you there's an inscription on the side. So just repeat the song back to it, and you'll learn the Stun Song. And this is a useful song that changes it from night to day and vice versa. And so it just speeds ahead to that time of day or night, to the dawn or dusk. And this is really useful, and we'll be using this a lot throughout the game, because there's a lot of side quests and stuff that are important to do with time, and so we'll be using it quite a bit. One other cool thing about it is if you, say for example, you just come out of an area, then on your mini-map you'll see a little red triangle that says the door you just came from, or the door you just came out of. And so what you can do is, if you're in a place where time stands still, like a town, and you come out of a door, and you fall down off the ledge or something like that, you're like, oh crap, I just fell down. What you can do is play the Sun Song, and because time stands still in that area, what it does is it just starts the area over again, and then it's the different time of day. So because you came out of the doorway that was up top, then you will just appear there once you play the Sun Song. It'll be the different time of day and all, but that way you can salvage trying to get back up on that ledge. Also, one other cool thing to note is that the poem tells you that you can play the Sun Song to stun undead, and that applies to redeads and gibdos. And so, as you saw just there, I used it to stun the redeads. I got behind one and slashed it up. So head on back to the previous door and then head into the blue light to get out of here. Next up, you'll see that you get up top, and then you'll see that there's 5 graves here on the left. You want to pull the 4th one from the left out, pull it back, and then jump down the hole where it's right down here. So inside you'll find another redead, so play the Sun Song to stun it. And then you want to get behind it and slash it up so it doesn't stun you. So while it's stunned, you can either slash it with your sword, and it takes a bunch of sword slashes, or you can use a deck stick and do a jump attack, and this will kill it instantly. Check this out. So that saves us a lot of hassle. So what you want to do is stand on these step things right here, and then play the Sun Song. And this, so we'll be playing this song a whole bunch. Just get used to it. In any case, this is a secret, and it'll make a chest appear, and this will be our very first heart piece. There are 36 pieces of heart, and if you collect 4 of them, they give you another whole heart container. So that's so minus all the heart containers we get from the bosses, this is where all the other ones are hidden about, and we'll be collecting them throughout our journey. So step back into the blue light, and we'll pop back up. So this time head towards the front of the area, and you'll see here that Dampy is out now because it's night, and it does so happen to be the right time of day. If you want, you can play his little mini game, and that's where you can talk to him, and where he's in front of the soft soil spots in front of the graves, then he will dig it up, and then there's a chance you can get a heart piece. I'm not doing it right now because we don't have enough rupees really, so we'll do that later. What you want to do is, in this first row, you want to find the grave that has all the little grass stuff in front of it, and so you pull that back and then jump down the hole. So inside there's just a lonely little chest, and it has a free Hylian shield. So this is awesome. The other one we would have had to buy for either 60 or 80 rupees, so we would have had to go earn that and then go buy it, so we don't have to do that now. And the Hylian shield will be equipping it here in a little while. It's not as, it's too big for you, and so what you do is and heavy, so you just kind of duck down, you can't move while defending. So we'll equip that when we're on Death Mountain because we need it. So join me for the next video.